The company's team building had been booked at the brand new Bar of Blue. The lighting was dim in that perfect, flattering way. The music loud enough to drown out awkward silences yet still let you hear the person next to you. Logan hadn't planned on showing up, but the department head, Derek, had pinged everyone on WhatsApp. Mandatory attendance, big client in town. He pushed open the private room door. It was already packed. Colleagues from marketing stood in loose knots. The clink of glasses and bursts of laughter braided together. Logan, over here. He waved him in. You're late. Penalty shot. Logan managed a thin smile, knocked back the waiting whiskey, and felt his throat ignite. He scanned the room until his gaze snagged on Derek in the corner. An arm draped around a woman's shoulders, head tilted in intimate conversation. Logan, come here. Derek spotted him and beckoned. All warmth. Meet my wife, Sienna. She insisted on tagging along to say hi to the crew. The woman turned. A slice of spotlight landed on her profile, and Logan's lungs stalled. Those almond eyes. That single dimple. The tiny mole just beyond the outer corner of her right eye. See, Sienna? The name scraped his throat. She froze, lips parting. Logan? Derek's glance bounced between them. You two know each other? College classmates? Sienna answered, poise sliding back into place like a well-oiled drawer. Small world. What are the odds? Crazy, right? Derek beamed and refilled Logan's glass. Then we definitely drink. Logan accepted the tumbler like a robot, fingers brushing Derek's, ice cold. Cadaverous. 5 years. And this was how the universe handed her back, as the boss's wife. Halfway through the night Derek was tomato red. The quarterly numbers were strangling him, and he was clearly drinking to forget. Listen, Derek slurred, swaying. This quarter's target, you've had enough. Derek. Logan caught his shoulder before it slid off the chair. Fine. Happy. Derek flailed, almost corkscrewing to the floor. Sienna sighed. The pressure's been eating him alive. She dabbed his forehead with practiced tenderness. Logan noticed the diamond pendant flashing on her left hand, real estate that might have been his. I'll drive you guys home, he heard himself offer. She hesitated. We'll just grab a ride. It's late and he's trashed. Safer if I do it. She nodded. Thanks. Getting Derek into his blazer released a puff of the same jasmine perfume that had once lingered on Logan's dorm pillow. 5 years. Same scent. Logan's ribcage tightened. Outside, early autumn air carried the threat of rain. Derek hung off Logan's shoulder, mumbling KPIs. Sienna walked 2 paces ahead, looking back every few seconds to check her husband. Logan's car was buried in the garage. He fished out the key while propping Derek upright. Sienna steadied Derek's other side. Her knuckles grazed Logan's wrist, a scorch he pretended not to feel while fussing with Derek's crooked tie. Fluorescent garage light bleached everything. They poured Derek into the back seat, where he collapsed like wet cement. He's not usually like this, she whispered. Corporate reorganization. He's scared marketing will be axed. Logan grunted, slid behind the wheel. She rode shotgun. Jasmine and ethanol swirled into a dizzying fog. You, doing okay? She asked barely above the engine. His fingers tightened on the leather. Still breathing. Typical office grind. A beat. Didn't know you'd married, let alone Derek. Life happens. She watched neon smear across the glass. I worked at an ad agency. He was a client. Half a year of flowers and promises. I said yes. Logan opened his mouth, but a wet wretch from the back cut him off. Derek jackknifed, vomiting over Logan's coat and seat. God, Sienna spun, patting her husband's back. Logan yanked the car to the curb, stomach seesawing. Sour steam clouded the cabin. I'm so sorry. She thrust tissues at Derek, then at Logan. It's fine. He peeled off the ruined coat. Is he breathing? Derek fired again, puddling the floor mat. Sienna winced. We're almost home. Come up and wash up. I'll run your coat through the machine. 5 minutes later, they hauled half-conscious Derek into a high-rise lobby, then into the elevator. Mirrored walls multiplied their sorry trio. Logan disheveled. Sienna immaculate except for worry lines slicing her brow. Apartment 18E exhaled lavender. Minimalist decor. One framed photo dominating the living room. Derek in a tux. Sienna in a wedding gown, both incandescent with joy. Baths down the hall, she said. Fresh towel and clothes on the counter. I'll dump your coat in the washer. Logan locked the door and stared at the stranger in the mirror. Pale, dripping rain and regret. Hot water loosened memories. Sienna laughing across the quad. Her hair a comet. Their first library kiss. The graduation night meltdown. A soft knock. Logan, leaving sweatpants and a tea outside. He killed the tap. Thanks. They were Derek's. Cotton still carrying department store starch. Dressing in another man's skin felt like method acting a life he'd never auditioned for. Only a floor lamp glowed when he re-emerged. Sienna knelt beside the couch, sponging Derek's forehead. She looked up, eyes glassy, smile brittle. He's out cold. She rose, rolling her neck. Want a drink? Coffee? Tea? Water's good. He shoved hands in borrowed pockets. She poured. Their fingers brushed again. This time he didn't flinch. Sit? She nodded at the sofa. Dryer's noisy. Takes forever. Logan checked his phone. 11:58 p.m. Logic screamed flee, but inertia chained him to the cushion opposite. She broke first. Did you ever try to find me? A swallow of ice water did nothing for the heat blooming in his chest. Every channel. You nuked your number. Instagram. Moved apartments? Like witness protection. I thought a clean cut was kinder. She studied the carpet. Why didn't we work? Logan. We'd sketched that loft in Beijing. Remember? Then I blinked and you were gone. You left. The words tasted metallic. We swore we'd grind it out together, but you vanished. I was terrified. Tears purled. Mom's bills. Ben's tuition. Derek offered stability, an actual future. Silence ballooned until Derek snorted and rolled toward the cushions. A living reminder. I should go. Logan lurched up. It's pouring. She lifted the curtain. Rain lashed the glass. City lights melting into watercolor. Cabs 2 minutes away. He was already lacing his sneakers. She followed him to the foyer. Under the weak downlight her face was unreadable. He stepped into the hall. The deadbolt clicked behind like a period at the end of a sentence never written. Downstairs, streets glistened black. Logan walked instead of calling, rain mixing with whatever leaked from his eyes. 5 years and still the same raw circuitry, some circuits. Once tripped. Stay live. Monday conference room. Derek ran the stand-up, voice crisp as if the weekend had never happened. Logan sat in the rear, zoning in on the steel watch circling his own wrist. Derek's Omega. He'd meant to return it last night, so Wednesday to Friday I'll be in Shanghai with the East Coast client. Derek was saying, late covers day today. Logan. The proposal revision lands on your desk, due Thursday. Logan nodded. Got it. Derek. When the meeting broke, the rest of the team filed out. Logan hesitated, then walked up to Derek, who was stacking folders. Derek. Your watch. He slipped it from his own wrist. I accidentally wore it home last night. Derek blinked, then laughed. No wonder I couldn't find it. Thought I left it at the bar. He strapped it on. By the way, my wife says thanks for the other night. She dry cleaned your jacket. Come by whenever to pick it up. Logan's throat tightened. Yeah. Okay, I'm out of town the next few days, so if you don't grab it now you'll have to wait until Monday. Derek clapped his shoulder. You still have the address, right? I do. Logan answered like a robot, pulse sprinting, alone at Sienna's place while Derek's away. Suicide. Anytime works. Sienna's on vacation this week. Derek lowered his voice. Honestly, she's been down lately. Drop in. Keep her company. Old college buddies, right? Logan had no comeback. He just nodded. When he stepped into the corridor his palms were already slick. For the next 48 hours Logan tried to bury himself in work. He rewrote decks, sat through useless check-ins, even volunteered for odds and ends jobs, anything to keep from thinking about Sienna, about the invitation. Wednesday night he stood in front of the mirror, swapping outfits 3 times. He settled on a dark blue shirt and chinos, casual enough not to look planned. Just grab the jacket and go, he told himself. At her building he sat in the car for 10 minutes before he got the guts to step out. The elevator climb felt like a countdown. His heart hammered against his ribs. Outside 1802 he inhaled, pressed the bell. The door swung open almost instantly. Sienna stood there in a plain white tee and jeans. Hair knotted at the nape, face scrubbed clean, yet she took Logan's breath away harder than any made-up look ever had. You came. She smiled, eyes star-bright. Logan hovered on the threshold, suddenly tongue-tied. I came for the jacket. Derek said, come in. She stepped aside. It's drying on the balcony, let me get it. Logan entered and saw the dining table set for 2, sweet and sour ribs, gailon sautéed with garlic, tomato egg soup, every dish he used to order in college. Expecting company? He asked, heart skipping. Sienna came back with his gray jacket folded over her arm. Waiting for you. 2 words, light as feathers, heavy enough to buckle his knees. I can't stay long. He said it, yet didn't move. At least eat first. She moved a step closer. He caught the faint jasmine scent off her skin. I cooked all this. There's no way I can finish alone. Logan stared at the spread. Memories flooded in, the hole-in-the-wall diner behind campus where he always picked these same dishes. Sienna teasing that he ate like a grandpa. 5 years later she still remembered. Just a quick dinner, she coaxed. Old friends catching up. no big deal. He knew it was a terrible idea, but his feet walked to the table. Fine, just food. Sienna's grin lit the room. She hurried to the kitchen. There's rice. And I bought red wine. Do you still drink red wine? Now and then, he lied. He almost never did. But tonight he needed something to dull the wire-tight tension. The meal started stiffly. Weather, work, mutual classmates. With every refill the conversation slid deeper. His shoulders loosened. Her laughter softened. Remember our first date? She asked. Cheeks flushed from the wine. Back hill behind campus. You hauled that busted telescope so we could stargaze. Logan chuckled. Lens was cracked. We wound up using naked eyes. You complained your neck hurt all night, but the way you traced constellations in the sky. Her gaze went liquid. Most earnest look I've ever seen on anyone. Their eyes locked, then ricocheted apart. Logan gulped more wine, trying to hose down the heat rising in his chest. After graduation I looked for you everywhere. He studied the rim of his glass. Went to your hometown. Your mom said Shenzhen. I followed, but your ex-coworker said you'd quit for Beijing. Sienna's finger traced circles on the stem. I know. Mom told me some guy named Logan had come. And you still. Hurt flickered across his face. Why didn't you? Because I was scared. Her voice jumped, then dropped. Scared one look and I'd cave. Abandon everything I'd clawed together. I needed security so badly back then. Logan went quiet. He understood. Her sick mother. Her kid brother. The whole family leaning on her. He, meanwhile, could barely cover rent. And now, he finally asked, did you get the security you wanted? Sienna scanned the polished apartment, landing on the framed wedding gown shots above the console. Material stuff, yes. Derek's kind. Treats me well, but, she almost whispered, some things money can't buy. The sentence was a key twisting open a locked box in his chest. He stood abruptly. I should go. She rose too. One more drink, then I'll walk you out. At the sideboard she accidentally nudged an empty tumbler. Glass exploded across the marble. Sorry, clumsy. She crouched to collect shards. Logan knelt beside her. Watch your fingers. Both reached for the same splinter. Both jerked back. Sienna lifted her face, an inch of air between them. He tasted red wine on her breath. Saw his own reflection in her blown wide pupils. Then she kissed him. It was a spark in dry stubble. Desire detonated after years of smothering. Logan's brain whited out while his body answered on instinct. He circled her waist, pulled her close, their mouths tangling. Sweet Cabernet and something unmistakably hers. When they broke apart they were breathless. Sienna's eyes shimmered. Her lips looked bruised and delicious. We shouldn't. He started, but her fingers were already slipping his top button free. Just tonight, she breathed against his neck. Consider it? Paying back the 5 years we lost. The last levy crumbled. Logan scooped her up and headed for the bedroom. No need for directions. Muscle memory from that old studio apartment steered him. Lights stayed off. Moonlight painted the bed silver. Sienna's skin glowed porcelain under it. Curves fuller than the girl he remembered. When they fused together they both exhaled. Home at last. After, she lay pillowed on his chest. Logan toyed with her hair the way he used to between classes. Remember, she murmured, drowsy, the first time we ever did this. You almost knocked over the lamp, you were so nervous. He huffed a quiet laugh. You teased me for a week. Those days were simple. She sighed. All we needed was loving each other. He didn't answer. The hush felt fragile. Words might break it. Deep down he knew this was wrong. She was another man's wife. His boss's wife. Tonight had been a mistake. But when her palms slid over his heart again, ethics scattered like dandelion seeds. He rolled her beneath him and sealed her mouth with a hotter kiss. Much later Logan jolted awake. Moonlight had shifted, striping Sienna's sleeping face. He dressed quietly, lingered one last look, then left. In the living room his jacket hung freshly aired. He slipped it on, sun-warm cotton threaded with jasmine scent. Just like her. A message pinged on his phone. Gone. 3 letters that wrung his heart. He hesitated. Typed, yeah. Early meeting. Her reply came instantly. Derek's birthday next week. You'll come? He stared, thumb hovering. He should refuse. Cut the wire. End it. Instead, he answered, okay. Outside, night breeze cooled his burning cheeks. Overhead the sky glittered, same constellations they'd once traced on the campus lawn. A blue glow pulsed in the dark bedroom. Logan lay on his side, thumb pulling down to refresh WhatsApp. 1:17 a.m., 23 minutes since Sienna's last text. Derek's asleep. 4 words. Yet his mind sprinted. He could picture her, barefoot in pajamas, creeping from the master bath, locking the door, typing, hair probably spilling over her shoulders, lips maybe glistening from splashed water. His phone buzzed so hard he almost dropped it. Miss you. 3 letters plus a bashful emoji. His chest cinched, fingers trembling. He typed back, me too. You kept your head down during the meeting. Were you reading my texts? She asked. Heat flooded his face. Earlier, in the department huddle, she'd messaged explicit flashes about last night's dream, and he'd sat in the back row, legs crossed to hide the evidence. Almost got busted by Derek, he replied and added a cringe smiley. Thrilling, right? She tacked on a winking face. I was right across from him, watching you pretend to take notes. Logan's breathing roughened. Her words yanked him straight back into her sheets. He typed, stop teasing. I've got work tomorrow. Then think of me at work, she shot back. I'll wear that red sundress, the one you loved in school. Of course he remembered. First gift he ever gave her. A red sundress that cost an entire month of part-time wages. She'd cried, saying no one had ever spoiled her like that. The dress was long gone, but she'd bought a replica. Your husband might notice. He tried to summon reason. He never notices what I wear. Text trailed with a bitter aftertaste. Presentable is all he requires. Part of him ached for her. Another part, the ugly opportunist, whispered that Derek's inattention left the door wide open. When can I see you again? He asked at last, thumb pausing above send before he committed. The chat bubble said, typing, for a long time. Logan's pulse quickened as he waited, sweat beading in his palms. Wednesday afternoon, Sienna finally wrote, Derek has a meeting at headquarters. Blue, room 1208. I'll be there at 2. Logan read the line 3 times. Every word burned against his retinas like a branding iron. He knew he should refuse. Slam the brakes before the cliff. But the desire surging through him drowned out reason. I'll be on time, he answered, then added quickly, if you change your mind, let me know. I won't change my mind. Her reply was sharp, decisive. 5 years. Logan, I've regretted that decision every single day. The sentence was a key twisting open the last moral lock inside him. He didn't hesitate. Then I'll wait for you. He dropped the phone on the quilt and stared at the ceiling. Moonlight slatted through the blinds, striping the floor like jail bars. He realized he'd already become a prisoner of appetite. The next few days he shuffled through work like a zombie. He sat in meetings, answered emails, traded hallway greetings, but his mind was pinned to Wednesday. Each buzz of his phone stopped his heart. Every time he passed the corridor where she'd once mentioned the red sundress might appear, his gaze combed the crowd. Tuesday afternoon in the break room, Blake handed him a coffee. What's eating you? You're sleepwalking. Nothing. Bad sleep. That's all. Logan took the cup and worked at sounding normal. He squinted. Don't tell me you're in love. Logan's hand jerked. Coffee sloshed over his cuff. Quit joking. Ha! Knew it. He snapped his fingers. I recognized the symptoms, phone gazing, zoning out in meetings, goofy daydreams. You're so busted. Logan dabbed at his sleeve, avoiding his stare. Hashtag printero IMO hashtag.omi. Eagles 5 meow. STR Vulcan blank DFC. 12 Aru. MEM plus stares brighter. Logan's stomach twisted like a wet rag. The love in Derek's eyes was so obvious it hurt. And behind Sienna's polite smile, what was really going on? Their secret felt like a branding iron pressed to his skin. So, I brought a little something today. Derek pulled a midnight blue velvet box from his pocket, dropped to one knee, and flicked it open. Honey, thanks for always having my back. Gasps rippled through the room. Inside sat a diamond pendant, the center stone at least half a carat, throwing off cold, brilliant sparks. Sienna's hand flew to her mouth. Her eyes went wide. This time, the surprise was real. Derek, this is too much, she said, voice trembling. You're worth everything. Derek stood and clasped the chain around her neck. Like I promised when I proposed. Best life ever. Sienna looked down. The diamond glittered against her collarbone like a frozen tear. Logan couldn't read her face, but he saw her shoulders quiver. Second piece of news, Derek said, swiveling toward the crowd. Corporate smile back in place. The reorg is real. Marketing and sales are merging. But the good news is, everybody on our core team stays. Coworkers murmured. Some exhaled. Some froze. And me, Derek paused. I'm transferring to the Shanghai office to run East Coast. A wave of whispers rolled across the room. Shanghai was smaller than headquarters, yet East Coast was the biggest revenue slice. The move smelled like a promotion in disguise. Lastly, Derek looked straight at Logan, eyes shining with big brother pride. I've recommended Logan as my replacement, head of marketing. Headquarters already signed off. Every head snapped toward Logan. His mind blanked. A high-pitched buzz filled his ears. Manager. Derek's job. The irony scalded. Congrats, man. He slapped his back first. About time. More applause and backclaps followed. Logan nodded like a bobblehead, throat too dry to speak. Across the room his gaze locked on Sienna. A flicker of something unreadable crossed her face. Then she looked away. All right, formal stuff done. Derek called. Eat, drink, enjoy. The crowd dispersed toward the buffet. Logan's feet felt encased in cement. He knew he should thank Derek. Act thrilled, but all he wanted was to sprint for the door. Logan. Derek appeared beside him holding 2 flutes of champagne. Quick word on the balcony? Logan took a glass and followed him outside. Night had fallen. City lights glittered like scattered diamonds. A cool breeze soothed the burn in his cheeks. Thanks for putting my name up Logan managed. Voice raw, but I'm probably not the right guy. Nonsense. Derek chuckled. You're sharp. The team respects you. Honestly, with this reorg I fought to keep our group intact. Pushing you into my seat lets me leave with a clear head. Logan stared at the bubbles climbing his flute. Words stuck. Thing is, Derek lowered his voice, there's a selfish angle. Shanghai's full of opportunities. I plan to bring Sienna with me. She doesn't have many friends here. Except you. Old college buddy. He clinked Logan's glass. With you holding the fort, I can focus on family. Logan's heart slammed against his ribs. Sienna, Shanghai. The news hit like a medicine ball to the chest. When do you leave? He croaked. Next month. Derek sipped. Sienna doesn't know yet. Thought I'd surprise her. She keeps saying she wants a fresh scene. Logan's nails gouged his palm. She wanted Shanghai. Was that true? Or just an exit from him? This afternoon at Blue she hadn't said a word. Oh, Derek added. Sienna said you swung by for your jacket? Logan's pulse spiked. Yeah. Around noon. She's been off lately. Derek frowned. When I got home she was crying. Said it was onions. But she hates onions, never cooks with them. Logan's blood turned to slush. She'd cried. Over them. Or over the diamond pendant she'd have to wear while lying? Women and mysteries. Right? Derek sighed. Drained his glass. Come on, cake time. And seriously, congrats. Bro. The syllable felt like a bullet. Logan trailed him inside. A walking corpse. Sienna was slicing cake. Sliding neat triangles onto plates. Hostess perfect. Only the faint redness at the edge of her eyes hinted at tears. The diamond pendant flashed, stabbing Logan's vision. When Logan reached her she didn't look up. Extra frosting or plain? She asked softly. Plain. Thanks. He couldn't meet her gaze either. He noticed her wedding ring. This afternoon at Blue she had slipped it off. Plate in hand. Logan retreated to a corner. The sugary frosting tasted like sawdust. He watched Sienna glide from guest to guest, topping off drinks, collecting empties, flashing Derek a smile now and then. An hour ago she'd been naked beneath him, breath ragged. Now she was the perfect wife. Hey, future boss. He dropped beside him. Why the loner act? Logan forced a smile. Long day. Promotion jitters. Huh. He leaned closer. Serious question. You and Sienna really just college pals? Logan's fork froze midair. Why ask that? Vibes. He shrugged. When Derek gave her the necklace. You looked like someone stabbed you. Logan set his plate down. You're drunk. Maybe. His eyes narrowed. But Derek's no dummy. You know? The warning chilled Logan. How many others sensed it? He scanned the room. Spotted Derek laughing with coworkers. Clueless. For now, mid-party Logan slipped into the kitchen to ditch his plate. Sienna was there, hauling sodas from the fridge. In the cramped space, they were alone. The living room chatter felt miles away. Congratulations on the promotion, she murmured. Still not looking. Silence ballooned. What could he say? Thank you. Ask why she'd cried. Tell her Derek's Shanghai plan. Necklace looks beautiful, he whispered. Barely audible. Her hand whitened on the fridge handle. He's never given me anything this expensive. He loves you. Logan swallowed glass shards. She finally met his eyes. Glassy with unshed tears. I know. In that second Logan read the verdict. Over. No fight. No drama. Just a silent decree. They both understood. Need help carrying those? He asked. Loud enough for anyone listening. I've got it. Thanks. Her tone turned hostess bright. Go enjoy. Manager, an invisible dagger slicing every thread. Logan nodded and walked out. Chest hollow yet oddly light. Finished. The gorgeous mistake. Near midnight Derek announced the after party. VIP room at a karaoke bar. His treat. Cheers erupted. Coats were grabbed. Logan pleaded an early meeting and bowed out. New boss responsibilities. Totally get it. Derek slurred. Cheeks flushed. We'll do lunch soon. Thorough handoff. Logan shook hands. Said goodnights. At the elevator he glanced back. Sienna stood beside Derek, helping him into his jacket. Their eyes met for a heartbeat. Then she lowered her gaze. The diamond pendant flashed like a distant star. Outside, night air cooled his burning cheeks. He inhaled. Caught the faint scent of fall, late blooming sweet olives. Autumn, season of beginnings and endings. His phone buzzed. WhatsApp from Sienna. Sorry. 2 syllables carrying oceans. Logan hovered his thumb over the keyboard. Asterisk it's okay. Asterisk. Me too. I still love you. He pocketed the phone unanswered. Some stories can't be tied with a bow. 1 week later Logan slid a resignation letter across HR's desk. Derek barged in. Stunned. Bargaining. Promising more zeros. Logan smiled and declined. He blamed new directions. Nothing else. On his final afternoon he emptied his drawers and found the pearl drop earring she'd lost at Blue. tiny. Perfect. Damning. He rolled it between his fingers, then dropped it in the trash. Souvenirs keep wounds open. He exited the building into bright sun. Glass facade, glaring like a mirror he didn't want to look into. Future foggy. Heart scabbed. But he'd picked the only road that let him live with himself. Her WhatsApp avatar still shows up sometimes. Shanghai skyline. Jasmine's scent of late-night messages he never opens. Her Instagram, neon bund. Cafe lattes. Disney fireworks. That diamond pendant, sparkling in every other frame. He doesn't delete or block. Pain is proof it mattered. Tonight, downtown Riverdale. Logan waits at the crosswalk. Light turns green. He steps forward. Coat collar up. Eyes on the far curb. No looking back.